Colleagues, our greetings. Thank you for coming and thank you to our online audience. We continue our working day in the Ukrainian Crisis Media Center, and the topic of the next press briefing is Takeover of the Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry hinders the European integration of the country. Our speakers are Gennadiy Chyzhykov, President of the Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Tsypin, lawyer of the Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Rasim Bekmezci, Assistant Director of Turkish Foreign Economic Relations Board, Union of Entrepreneurs and Businessmen of Turkey and Ukraine, and Oleg Lukhovyd, Chairman of the Financial Market and Business Social Responsibility Committee. We are giving the floor to our speakers. Good afternoon, dear colleagues and journalists. I didn't think that after 2 years after the Euromaidan Revolution of Dignity, we will have the need to talk about such things and values which are of concern for all of us. They are about corruption and interference into the activities of NGOs and different associations. The Chamber of Commerce and Industry represents business, and it is the largest business organization facilitating investments and connected with all organizations, business organizations all over the countries, and we face pressure on our independent business organizations. We face corporate trade attack organized by a group of people whose final aim is to discredit the activities of the Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, to take it over and use it in their political, economic interests for their own benefit. For the 2 years, Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry has been experiencing pressure from controlling and law enforcement bodies, and these activities are organized and targeted, and I have proofs. The only example is how could it happen that during one day the Chamber of Commerce and Industry have 3 representatives arrived and from 3 different law enforcement bodies, and they handed out 27 summons to our staff to visit the law enforcement offices. So we have been experiencing pressure on my colleagues, on our top management. The question is, what is the sense in such powerful business association as our one? It is very simple answer to these questions when millions are invested into the muddy information campaign, when business raiders, corporate traitors, and politicians and MPs unite when they have some links to governmental bodies and law enforcement bodies, then a cocktail arises, a cocktail of pressure from all sides, of overall pressure, and this results in the Chamber of Commerce and Industry now faces the challenge which is the most serious in its life, and what solution will be found. This will be an indicator for all the businesses in Ukraine, whether the businesses will lose their hope that the country has been reforming. If such non-governmental organization the Chamber of Commerce and Industry cannot defend its independence, and what can be told about just ordinary businessmen, small and medium businesses, how could they stand up for their interests? Our enemies try to make some confrontation, to make us confront with law enforcement officers and other businesses. I'm always blamed to be a placeman of Yanukovych or Pshonka. I would like now to disclaim and to say that I am not a placement of Yanukovych and I am not a placement of Pshonka. I am representing thousands of businesses which are members of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Ukraine. Since last year, in order to reload the Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we have conducted elections which were fair and open, and the businesses believed in me, and now I am chairing the chamber, and we have the strategy till 2020, and we have been implementing this strategy, but this bothers some interests. We are supported by international organizations. We represent business of Ukraine on the international arena, and the pressure continues. And as you know, I was forced to address the President of Ukraine, Petro Poroshenko, with a letter seeking his attention and interference into this process, because he is a guarantor of law in this country, and so he should consider whether it is correct that where the law goes that nobody can interfere into activities of such independent organization as the Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We call on Mr. Petro Poroshenko to start dialogue with such powerful business association as our Chamber of Commerce is, and as the Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry facilitates promoting exports and attracting investments into Ukraine, and I would like the members of Chamber of Commerce and Industry to believe that we are strong, our chamber is strong, and we conduct activities on promoting our products abroad, and we are strong and we will win. Thank you, Mr. Chyzhykov. We are giving the floor to Mr. Tsypin, lawyer of the Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Being a lawyer, I would like to draw your attention to the absurdity of those accusations. Some politicians blame our chamber, and they say, why are you so afraid of those criminal proceedings started by the law enforcement officers? If you are not guilty, what are you afraid of? And so I would like to focus your attention on the things which the Chamber of Commerce and Industry is afraid of, and we appeal to the top management of the country, to the leaders of the country and the general public. The first accusation was about the siphoning of public money, but we have never had any public money, any money from the national budget. We did not have such money ever. But these accusations goes from one mass media source to another, because these accusations, these allegations seems very true. The Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry is not a governmental organization, so it could not spend any money. Then also more than for 40 million hryvnias
were not paid in taxes.
Were not paid in taxes. For 1 year, 1 year ago and half a year ago, administrative courts have already took their judgments that the accusations of unpaid taxes are completely unlawful. So no taxes unpaid could be accusations against our chamber. The next accusation is that some assets of the Chamber of Commerce in Crimea were given to the Crimean chamber. The Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry is not a founder of Crimean chambers of commerce. If the chamber even had transferred some money or had taken some computers, this our Chamber of Commerce and Industry has no right to interfere with the activities of Crimean chambers. The same absurd is to blame the Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry in other accusations. All the allegations are groundless, and this could be easily explained. We can talk about the process, about the code of procedure. An investigator has a right to summon witnesses, but when an investigator starts to summon cleaning ladies, secretaries of the chamber in the criminal proceedings on unpaid taxes, such investigator understands that these people are not competent to give information about unpaid taxes. So people start to be afraid and they address the top management and they ask for defense. This is just what is the aim of these people behind this law enforcement officers attack. Every criminal case which is now pending in the law enforcement offices, it has a certain algorithm. The investigators are set task to terrorize the Chamber of Commerce and Industry so that people receive summons and so people feel pressure. When we ask who are those people, clients of those investigators. For half a year, the investigators in the prosecutor's office, they do not investigate cases of real crimes, but they try to investigate cases of some accounting fraud, and this was the General Prosecutor's Office of Ukraine who gives this order to investigators. The same concern other cases where we traced the where there are traces of the General Prosecutor's Office orders, so who can really change the situation, and how the pressure on the Chamber of Commerce and Industry can be stopped. The people who chase us, who conduct repressions on us. They are very top officers who are capable of intimidating the investigator. He is so highly motivated that he quit other criminal proceedings, and the investigator starts to engage in baiting the Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry and act unlawfully. Today, there are no official contenders for who are the leaders of this unlawful attack on the Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We do not have formal documents proving the persons, the personalities who are behind the attacks. But they say that they are Kovalchuk from administration of the president, that Dubovoy Alexander is attend part in it, and his colleague Kuzhel, she had the attack, PR attack against the Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, accusing and the Chamber of Commerce and Industry in such given such allegations which are groundless. So far, the investigators have found no information. They just summoned people for interrogation. They ask people about their personal life. And then let them go. That's all. And this is a massive attack. 10 to 15 people are summoned every week just to get their personal details. What does it mean? It means that the investigators have no aim to bring somebody to liability. This is just a procedural terror. That is why the president of Ukraine should interfere in this process, and the Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry is ready for those real accusators of our organization. Let them go to the public and say what are their real allegations and what proofs they have, and the chamber will provide its proof, and then the society, including the Parliament of Ukraine, and the administration of the President and the General Prosecutor's Office will understand whether there are, if they are people who are interested in the truth, but not people who are paid for accusing, for blaming the Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So I call on all law enforcement offices and governmental bodies. I call on them to start open dialogue. If you have real allegations, then do this openly. And if you have nothing to blame us about, stop your terror, which is unlawful. Thank you.
We give the floor to Oleg Lukhovyd. Thank you. Good afternoon, dear friends. I won't take much time. I will use my notes, and I'm going to speak from the representatives of Chamber of Commerce, and I would like to draw your attention to these words. Ukrainian business has a bitter experience of radar attacks, and we are concerned with the situation, and a lot of things coincide. And the information about these accusations and the consequences that we see from different publications, but there's no official position on this. The chamber is not even a joint stock. It's about 9,000 enterprises of Ukraine, and we represent Ukrainian business. We are a window of Ukrainian business into the world, and 1,000 of enterprises use our services daily. The members of the chamber, they met and they provided positive assessment and made some conclusions. They also elected the management, and they showed their approval to these nominations, and we also approved a strategy till 2020 that will help Ukrainian business to work in Europe and in the whole world. And we are deeply concerned with the situation. And these events, they remind corporate trades that were held previously. And in the eyes of our foreign partners, it looks very badly. So our investment climate now is not good, and the situation only deteriorates because of these actions. And the business that created this chamber, it has the purpose to fight for the rights of the Chamber of Commerce and the right for self-organization. We demand full transparency, and also if there are some accusations, if they are real, so we want the process to be transparent, and there should be a public dialogue on this issue concerning the Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, Oleg. And now we give the floor to Rasim, Assistant Director of Turkish Foreign Economic Relations Board, Union of Entrepreneurs and Businessmen of Turkey and Ukraine. World community also follow the events in Ukraine and also the events concerning Chamber of Commerce and what is going on in the life of the president of the Chamber of Commerce. And all the accusations are not correct. They are built on some things that are not true, and they are not grounded. And Ukraine is a state that is based on law, and these accusations are wrong. And Ukraine has we cooperate with Ukraine for 25 years, and Ukraine cooperates with many business organizations of the world. And the main task of the Chamber of Commerce is to attract investment to Ukraine and to protect the interests not only of international investors, but also local investors and local entrepreneurs. And during the many years of its work, the Chamber of Commerce got the reputation of responsible partner. And also it influenced the battening of the situation, and now the situation in the Chamber of Commerce is difficult, and if this institution will not be able to defend its rights and interests in the legal framework, what could we say about simple investor who wants to go to Ukraine and to invest in Ukraine? and about the prospects of the future. As an international business community, we hope to attract public attention to the analysis of the situation and to search for solutions in this context. Thank you. Thank you, dear colleagues. And now we start a series of questions and answers. Do you have some questions, dear colleagues? Please introduce yourself first. Lena Svetlitskaya, Business Magazine. Do you have a response to your letter, and what is the attitude to this letter from the side of the power? Thank you for your attention, for your question. We sent the letter to the presidential administration. We made it an open letter, and it is open for our partners from abroad, because for us it is very important that the information on the Chamber of Commerce and the accusations that that there should be proper response to these events and information should be presented to the public. And we didn't get any answer from the presidential administration, but we understand that they had difficult times during the last several days because of the parliamentary crisis, but we understand that we are waiting, and our press conference shows that we would like to draw the attention of the president to the business and to the Chamber of Commerce. And I would like to tell you that we draw the attention of our partners to this letter from different international chambers, and everyone awaits for the decisions to be taken. Other questions, please. Glove Post edition. In one of your comments, you said that several leaders of the Chamber of Commerce in the east of Ukraine, they didn't support you as a president of the Chamber of Commerce. Or this is not correct. How could that happen? Thank you for your question. Chamber of Commerce is the organization that represents business. It represents the business through regional representative offices, through a regional Chamber of Commerce. And someone wants to show that this is like that, but I know that throughout Ukraine, as I know Mr. Dubovoi and several people like him, they try to speak with our colleagues. As I know, chambers of commerce of the regions, they said that they are independent and they decide for themselves and they support us. And maybe some people have their own opinion on this issue, but this is a matter of time. And I think that the Chamber of Commerce is a united organization, and the business supports our strategy and our policy. And we want to make that the Chamber of Commerce supported all business organizations, and it should be presented in the export of products from our country, and also we should be present in the international platforms. Novikov Sergei, political newspaper, Our Version it is called. The question to the president of the Chamber of Commerce, the first one. Have they announced suspicion? And the second question, no, it wasn't. And about your housing, your house, was there a search there, and did they have a warrant for this? It was last Wednesday. I was on a business trip, and like as in old Stalin times, at 7 a.m., in the house where I live. My daughter was at home. She is 12, and the representatives of the prosecutor's office, they came and they there was a decision of Pechерsk Sud court for the search. But the main task, as I said, they searched for the documents in my house, in the premises of the Council of France. They searched for documents that prove that Chamber of Commerce surrendered Crimea, but these actions are directed to psychological discrimination of me as a director and the discreditation of the Chamber of Commerce as an institution. And about if there's confiscation of the documents and the confiscation of servers and hard disks in the Chamber of Commerce in the course of the search. Did this destabilize the activity of the Chamber of Commerce of Ukraine? I was present in the course of the search, and the search was conducted by the forces of the National Police of Kiev, and in the course of the search they confiscated several servers and several computers, and this paralyzed the activity of the Chamber of Commerce. But also, these premises for 24 hours these premises were closed for the clients, and this is very painful for the Chamber of Commerce because our policy is open, and there were some police officers who prevented people from entering and exit of the building, and they searched the things, personal belongings of people, and they not only confiscated the servers. There's no information they are interested in, because there's no crime and there's no actions we are accused of. And this is a psychological pressure on us. They try to show to the representatives of the Chamber of Commerce and the clients that they can close the Chamber of Commerce and they can take everything they want and they can paralyze the work of the Chamber of Commerce and nothing will be done with it. And there's no proofs that could help the investigation, and they didn't find anything that they needed for their work and investigation. During the last press conference, your colleague delivered a speech, Helen Pran, and they accused several people's deputies in the attempt of raid on the Chamber of Commerce. And also, Mr. Kovalchuk, what is his role in these events, and what are the proofs of his involvement in this case? Thank you for your question. I would like to say that, firstly, about the deputies. You know that you can look this information in the information space. You know that some people constantly accuse other people, and I met with Kuzel, and I don't know why they present this accusation, and they use dirty technologies. They address with the letter of the businessman, and then a businessman says that he didn't send any letter with accusations. And also there are some press conferences, Suslav, people's deputy, and one of the deputies who wrote or sent their letters when they got the information about the activity of our Chamber of Commerce. They lifted all the accusations, and I always invite all the deputies to come to our Chamber of Commerce and take part in our activity, and then you will get information, and you will be you will know about our actions. And we had a good relationship with presidential administration, because the Chamber of Commerce always representing the interests of the business, it cooperated with the presidential administration and the cabinet of ministers. As to Mr. Kovalchuk, I would say that we had good relationship with him, good business relationship, but I can't confirm the information, but they say that some of my colleagues from the regional chamber of commerce, they were called by Mr. Kovalchuk's office, and they were invited. I think that it is important that he refused these wrongdoings, and I think that if it is so, this is a direct intervention in the activity of the Chamber of Commerce, and we always understand that presidential administration is a very important body, and for us, this is an institution that should support the business. And in our activity, we show respect to the Cabinet of Ministers, to the presidential administration, and for us, it is very important to have professional cooperation with these partners. Thank you. And this will be the last question or comment about small and medium-sized business. We know that there's a donor forum in your Chamber of Commerce, and there's technical support for small and medium-sized business. Do they really can help our business to develop and to bring it to the new level? About 600 enterprises from all the parts of Ukraine and business associations are taking part in the first national forum on technical assistance to small and medium-sized business. And this is our policy. Our policy is to unite at the platform of Chamber of Commerce all donor organizations that have intention to support small business. And we calculated that our state has 27 international programs that are directed to support small and medium-sized business, and our main goal is to support it, business. And I would like to say several words. I would like to draw attention. It is very important for me. This weekend, the Chamber of Commerce will hold a very important event. This is Ukraine Search Startups. We expect 1,200 of young people who will search for investors. So this is a different issue, of course. So I would like to thank everyone who came here today for your interest to the Chamber of Commerce, and I would like to stress one more time that we live in a civilized state, democratic state, and all the opportunities. We should provide the opportunities to the people, but we should stop radar attacks on business and organizations and NGOs, and we should throw this term, the raid, away from our society and to support each other shoulder to shoulder. And I would like to stress that the Chamber of Commerce, this is the united organization, will withstand all attacks, and we will protect the interests of the business. And also I want to invite to public dialogue our President Petro Poroshenko in order to discuss all the issues that are acute today, both concerning the Chamber of Commerce and also the questions connected with business and reforms and other different very important issues for our society. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Gennadiy. Thank you, dear colleagues. We end our press briefing. Until next time, goodbye. Dear colleagues, I remind that our next briefing is at 3 p.m.